This is the original RainSoft guitar, and you look really cool when you leave work and walk into a bar with this, which I have done. It's perpetually out of tune, and the strings are pretty far from the frets. And so it's really tough to play, but it makes you better. And so just like everything at RainSoft challenges us. My name's Steven, and I work in PR and marketing. I've been with RainSoft for 3 years, and it's been a long ride, and we're looking forward to liftoff.
Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode of our developer log here at RainSoft. Last week we listed a bunch of new features for PowderVR, and I have to tell you guys, that was just the beginning. There's still a ton of new features we have yet to reveal, but this week we will talk extensively about our new control tracking feature. Also, at the end of the video, we'll talk a little about a secret minigame within PowderVR.
All of that and more. Stay tuned. Close the curtains, lock your doors, and fire up your rig. It's time for another update from the developers at RainSoft.
Alright, last week we jumped right into PowderVR updates, but there's been so much change here, starting with getting a new office space. Previously, we had been working at home and collaboratively at Spaces at Mission and 3rd. We were across the street from Unity HQ and down the street from Ubisoft San Francisco and Moscone, which hosts GDC. We moved to a Web3 collective called Proxy, which was also on 3rd. And their leadership invited us into their really amazing workspace, gratis. Unfortunately, they're closing their doors at the end of October. What can I say? We've had to move a lot. It was only this month that we were finally able to get our very own office near YouTube HQ in San Bruno. And what a nice change it's been, having our own digs. What else is in process? Shooting these updates. It's been a major change to our daily routine. We've always struggled with getting updates out to our players, so we had a brainstorming session here at the office and we landed on this. A shortish 3 to 5 minute video log that is fun, entertaining, informative, and talks to you, the players. Last week we got a GoPro and shot it in 3 days. This week I got a tripod and some lights, but no light stands. Don't! Next week we're attempting the media mod with a mounted microphone. Improving these videos is definitely an iterative process, much like game development.
And now, some gameplay.
By holding down the trigger and releasing it. You'll have to jump over the river to complete the run. Try to release just as you reach the arrows.
So like I said earlier in the episode, the PowderVR features I alluded to last week was just the beginning. There are many more in the next update, but today I'd like to talk about our new control tracking feature. So we went ahead and implemented 3 new control schemes. This brings us to 5 different control schemes. 10 if you count that skiing and snowboarding control differently. 1. Regular controls that you're all familiar with. 2. The 3D rudder controls. 3. Controllers plus 1 tracker, which is hip control. If all you've got is 1 tracker, you can use this to track your hips. Attach the tracker to your belt or put it in a pocket, and when it rotates, your legs rotate in game. Control scheme 4, controllers plus 2 trackers, which is feet control. It's not perfect, and if you're skiing, it's not too different from hip control, because you can't control your individual legs. But on a snowboard, you can do presses, so that's pretty sick. Last but not least, control scheme 5, a hybrid scheme between regular and feet control. So while you're holding the controllers, it acts normal, but when you bring both of the controllers below your hips, they behave like feet trackers. And if this sounds too confusing or complicated, let me know in the comments and maybe we can shoot some live action player footage to demonstrate it. Finally, there's a secret involving a minigame within PowderVR. See, last week we showed that you can shoot snowball hoops and throw snowballs at a target while in the helicopter. Well, we had this other mini game where you can pick up a space blaster in the heli, and while you're going downhill, you can shoot little alien enemies that spawn along the way. Well, the bad news is that mini game is no longer in Powder VR. The good news is, well, that's coming next week. And that's all the time we have this week. Happy Halloween, and see you next week.
Have any feedback? Leave us a comment, and don't forget to like the video. Stay informed of all the latest updates from RainSoft, so be sure to smash that subscribe button. From all of us here at RainSoft, thank you for watching, and see you next week.